right, had a little bit of technical difficulty to start there, so we're not going to beat around the bush. We got a jam-packed show. I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. Y'all good with that?
Let's do it.
All right. This is the Monday edition of Crain and Company. The NCAA approves new rules for college football. The NFL suspends Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams and 4 others for gambling. And Matt Moscona is going to join us to break down the LSU spring game. I'm Jake Crain, and it's the Monday edition of Crain and Company. There was a little bit of outrage last week when the NCAA adopted the new clock will still run after a first down rule in college. And in my opinion, there should have been rejoicing in the streets, not people being upset. And there's a couple reasons why. For once, there's a rule that benefits the defense. When all the changes when it comes to rules we see in every other sport almost always help the offense. Look it up. I'm not kidding. Now, for those that are complaining that it gives us less football, it actually replaces it with even more exciting football. Last drives will be so much more intense when you don't get a break every time you get 10 yards. It'll give us even better, more thrilling finishes. And to be quite honest, and we've seen this before, some offenses are actually better when they have to go faster in a 2-minute situation. There's not as much thinking, it's just playing and reacting. Now, another big plus is that this comes with 2 other very necessary changes. 1, there's no more consecutive timeouts, which should have been banned a long time ago. And if there's a penalty at the end of the quarter, the penalty is handed down in the next quarter if applicable. We've needed that for some time. And lastly, it throws a bone to the service academies. Imagine Navy running the triple option with the new clock rules. I mean, they're going to be able to sit on the ball like Snorlax in the middle of a road without a flute to wake them up. Now, expect them to continue to pull big upsets year in and year out. We've seen what Air Force has been able to do as well. But in a world where we have seen college football shift to a totally different era with transfer portal freedom, NIL going wild, and people now being able to stay in college longer than Van Wilder, this rule change should be the least of our worries. And with that, I'm going to bring in former quarterback David Cohn, former wide receiver Blaine Crain, both played high-level football. Guys, when it comes to rule changes, this one to me, I don't think it gives a huge inherent advantage to Power 5 or Group of 5. I don't think there's some sort of caveat in here that just helps the big boys. And I do want to make this note. This is only in Division I and Division II. Division III said, nope, we're going to keep it the same.
I have no problem with the essence of the new rule changes for college football. I mean, no consecutive timeouts makes sense. It'll tweak strategy a little bit, but I actually liked it. No untimed down at the end of the first quarter and the third quarter probably should have been done a while ago. So obviously the biggest one is the clock will continue to run after first downs, which I believe is what college football used to do before like 1968, something like that. It was more aligned with.
Then we went to the moon and changed.
Yeah, so if the rule to stop the clock after first downs had never been instituted in college football, we probably wouldn't be any the wiser and would have no problem with it. Now, I say it, provided that there's never a situation, this is just from an offensive mind, and from a tempo standpoint, provided there's no situation where the offense is already set and ready to snap the football and they're not allowed to because the chains haven't moved yet. I don't want to see any of that. If you're going to run the clock in any sporting event, I need to be able to snap the ball whenever I want.
For sure.
That's just from a tactical standpoint. My bigger issue is the reasoning behind this. This has nothing to do with player safety. Right? I don't even think it has anything to do with pace of. I mean, we're talking about a sport where guys strap body armor on and helmets and run into each other as hard as they can. This to me is the potato chip bag theory. Like I was telling you guys, when we were growing up, you go get a bag of potato chips, it's almost full to the top. Then it gets less and less, as we get older. Now you get a bag of potato chips, there's hardly anything in there. Eventually, it's just going to be a singular. Hey, I just ate my bag of potato chip. Right? The purpose of this is to give you as little product as possible with as many ads as possible. So the corporate execs, to me, they're always playing a game where it's look, how can we give the customer the least amount of football and the most advertisements before they turn their eyes away?
I agree. Blaine, I get that. I'm never going to argue that they're not trying to get more ads on TV. There's one thing they're not going to. I'm not going to act like this is under the guise of some type of purity or anything like that. But again, with all the different rules we have, and like I said, the clock will run after first downs, except inside of 2 minutes. It's the NFL. It's the exact same rule in the NFL. That's what it is.
I don't think this really gives a huge favor to either side of the ball. Because, I mean, if you're the defense, you enjoyed that break too when it came to the offense, moving the chains, the clock stopping. Like, you enjoyed that little break too to get set up. Because I think you're so used on offense just being in the shape of what you run, right? If you run an up-tempo offense, I always go back to Steph Curry in basketball. There's a reason why it's so hard to guard Steph Curry in basketball and Klay Thompson. They are running around the entire game. De'Aaron Fox came out the other day and said, when Delly played him in the playoffs, Delly said, I almost died.
Yeah.
And he almost died. So I don't think when you come to look at this, I don't mind it. No consecutive timeouts. Who cares? No time down at the end of the first quarter and third quarter. Who really cares? Clock runs after first downs. That's fine. I think it's going to hurt. I agree with David. How many ads can we put into this game? All right. How much stuff can we show on the TV that doesn't have to do with football without giving people seizures?
Yeah, again, I know they want to show as many ads as possible. I totally understand that. But when I look at this, the clock's running. So, like, how many more ads can you really show, though, with the clock? I know in perpetuity for the whole game, there's going to be some advantage. But how many do you think? Is there like a number? Is there like another minute worth of ads? Because to me, the game gets over quicker, therefore lessening the chance for you to have
that
ads.
Is the question. That's what I'm talking about. Does the total runtime of the game shrink or not? Because
it has the total, right?
You say that. I'm talking about the 10 plays. They're saying on average 7 to 10 fewer plays per game will get run over the course of a season. That's 120 fewer plays, right? Does that time mean the game is shortened? Like they're saying it will be, and maybe this first year, maybe it will. They'll put something out just like Major League Baseball. On average, games were 18 minutes shorter this year.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, the runtime of the games will remain the same. You'll get less football and more ads, just like you get fewer potato chips, and the price goes where? Up.
Again,
Does the price go down on your potato chips when they give you fewer of them? No, it goes up. Another thing I was going to say, they probably should have instituted this before spring practice, right? So teams could have actually practiced for this in the spring. It would have been a great
I wonder how many coaches knew this was coming. I wonder how many of them did, but again, you would like...
Maybe they did. That's fair.
Out in the forefront.
So when you guys were coaching, you were getting rule changes in advance?
We had an idea. Yeah. So what would happen is they would send like a referee, like a representative, to sit down with the coaches and have a slideshow, and he would say, these are the new rules, and it would have clips like targeting, right? That was a huge deal when I was in it. They would show you 9 different areas of targeting. Like, here's what we're looking for. Like, if it's Wednesday past 3 o'clock and the sun's is rising in the same place it did from the winter solstice last year, it's targeting. They would go through this whole gambit, which I liked, especially as a special teams guy, because they'll change the rules in special teams on in a heartbeat, and it'll be totally different. They'd be like, how about we play with 7? Like, you're going to play with 7. They start in 4 different quadrants.
Figure it out, Jake.
So they do know. The coaches did know. I wonder how much of it was actually implemented during the spring. But you would like for it to go ahead and say, all right, it's already out there or whatever.
They brought those guys in to talk to the team as well. I just never knew whether or not that was before or after the official rule.
And I always knew the players didn't pay attention. Like, half the players didn't pay attention.
I was taking notes.
Yeah, well, you're a quarterback. Man, I coached the DBs. They could give a damn about that guy coming there. Like, man, I'm just going to pick the ball. That's what I'm going to do. But if you're having to pick a sports book, all right, maybe you just got into sports gambling. Maybe you've been doing it for a while and now it's officially legal in your state, or you're visiting somewhere. You need to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and sign up with our code BOOSTER. It's NBA playoff time. That means big hoops actions with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And new customers, when you use our promo code BOOSTER, that's BOOSTER or BOOSTER, if you want to break it down halfway, you can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly, win or lose. That's right, win or lose, you get a bonus bet. So that's the old Michael Scott win-win-win if I've ever seen it in my life. But that's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Guys, we already got NHL, which I got beat to sleep this weekend in betting by the NHL, was super let down. But I had opportunities Why? Because DraftKings Sportsbook gave me every opportunity to win, and I didn't do it. And that's on me, but also on them. Because it's not that I suck at gambling. The players suck at playing.
Pointing at me. Them.
Yeah, that's on them.
That's on them. It's on them, Blaine.
That's on them right there.
Yeah,
if them was anywhere, it'd be right there.
Goodness.
If I've ever seen a them in my life.
Dude. Yes. You know it's great. Well, one, just betting the games. It's 11:30 last night. And I can't sleep. I just turn on. There's the Kings Oilers game, OT. Yes. Nuggets Timberwolves games, OT. I was like, God, this is the best. But then I lost.
Were you live betting them?
Huh?
Were you live betting them?
Had a rough week.
Rumor has it you threw some cheddar down on the Rangers.
Well, I threw some cheddar down on the Rangers to cover -1.5 because I had a Rangers fan look me in the eyes and said, we got this. All right, lost
and
it.
Of course.
Well, I'm at a bar with this guy. I'm cheering for the Rangers the whole time. Next thing I know, they go in the O team, put a bag down on the Devils to win in overtime.
You did?
Wow.
You went double bags?
Hedge my feelings.
Wow.
Your face, Steve.
Just find enemy lines.
You love to see it. All right, let's get to the Booster Club before we get to best.
Do you wear extra strong cologne?
Huh?
You wear extra strong cologne?
I don't know.
Because Jake's extra strong cologne donated $10.
Well, tell him I said thanks.
Yeah, and he says, given the unpredictability in the NBA, Western Conference playoffs this season, how likely could we see a potential Warriors versus Lakers series to determine who will go to the finals?
Nothing would shock me right now. I mean, you look at all the injuries we've had in the NBA, but, going through it, guys, there's not an NBA series that's been decided yet. I mean, in the West. Mm-hmm. I mean, right, the Kings almost go and beat the Warriors. Not that would have decided it, but the Nuggets didn't win last night. Mm-hmm. We've got everybody is still playing. Then you look over in the East. We know what the Sixers did. But at the end of the day, it's very, very hard when you have experienced guys in the playoff. And I know that Van Gundy says that experience in the playoffs really doesn't matter as much as people think. I just disagree. And I think you've seen it because teams don't panic, right? The Lakers are not going to panic with LeBron and Anthony Davis. The Warriors aren't going to panic with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. And you go through these ebbs and flows in these games. I don't think there is more ebb and flow in any other sport, professional or college, than there is in NBA games. It is amazing how different teams can be quarter to quarter in the NBA. And maybe because the NBA is in the quarter systems and college is just in the halves, so there's one break in between. But you talk about looking like totally different teams. How many times have we seen a team just totally change from the third quarter to the fourth quarter, or the first quarter to the second quarter, or the second quarter to the third quarter? The ebb and flow is crazy. And why are we not shocked by this in the Western Conference? It's all we saw all season. It was a log jam the whole year, outside of the Nuggets leading, which we know because of Jokic and the talent they have and Murray and those guys. But outside of that, it was just an absolute fistfight logjam all the way to the back, and that's what we're seeing in the playoffs. And I love it. It's good for the game, I think.
All right, let's go to Ty Smith with the $10 donation. Ty, appreciate that. Namaste. Good morning, fellas. Good morning to you, sir.
Ty.
Thank you for igniting my passion for different sports other than college football. Also, me and my twin bro listen and talk about y'all's show every day.
Yes.
Keep up the
Can I say something?
Yeah,
Nothing gets me more jacked and tan than when somebody says we ignite the passion. That's all I've ever wanted to do my whole life was ignite the passion. What are you passionate about? Maybe it's sports. Maybe it's pancakes. Maybe it's that girl in homeroom you hadn't talked to since your freshman year of high school.
Go say hello.
Go say hello. All right? We're here to ignite passion. That's why we have a flaming dragon on set. By the way, did you see Disney World? The flaming dragon blew up or whatever?
What do you mean? What do you mean, did I see it?
All right, one more. We got to get
I had an aerial view is all.
It's like King's Landing.
Yeah, let's go to Travis Elrod. Hashtag Ask Crain and Cup. What's up, Travi? Are there more injuries in the NBA playoffs because they don't play hard in the regular season?
No, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not an injury speculating type of person outside of if there is a pattern like a Zion Williamson or a Ben Simmons or something like that. Giannis I saw the way Giannis landed. If you've ever landed like that and hit your ass or your lower back or your side, it hurts. Like it can legitimately be a problem. When it comes to Tyler Hero, he broke his hand. I mean, let's be honest. Oh, did you see John Morant hit the floor?
I did.
It looked like they were going to have to give him one of those Inspector Gadget hands.
Yeah, the Derrick Rose treatment.
After he hit the floor. So I think they've been legitimate. Joel Embiid looked like he went through a UFC card in just the one game I watched. That dude hits the floor more times than John Travolta, man. It's unbelievable. But there are some guys that are a little bit babied. I think James Harden kind of used to be this way. You see James Harden now. My man's in there trying to play defense, giving 115% all the time.
And James Harden.
Maybe I called it. Maybe I called it. I don't know.
I just don't get it.
What do you mean you don't get it? The man's underrated.
Weird love for James Harden.
The man's underrated. It's not a weird love. I just don't hate him.
How's he underrated?
He's underrated because I think people think that James Harden is soft.
Because he is soft.
No, he's not soft.
That's why Ben Simmons is also soft.
In today's age, James Harden's playing. So in today's age,
if that's the line,
that's the standard.
If that's the line,
again, the standard's the standard.
The standard is just get out on the court these days.
All right, remember, we got call-ins live, 7:15 a.m. Central, 8:15 a.m. Eastern. Go ahead and call in early because they typically get jam-packed, and we have a ton to go this weekend. But I do want to get to best and worst. But before that, David, I want you to look at me.
Look at me right now.
I want to talk about the best in the coffee game. All right. Yes. Or the way I say it, who's on their grind the best?
Tell them.
Those are our friends over at Black Rifle. All right. You know what I love about Black Rifle? It's pretty simple. Everything about them. Okay. I don't always have time to brew coffee in the morning, just like I think everybody else. So now they're offering you ready-to-drink coffee cans. This is the up-tempo offense for Black Rifle Coffee.
What flavors?
All right. What flavors do they not have? Let me give you vanilla bomb,
boom,
salted caramel,
love it,
mocha, vanilla caramel. If you don't like any more of those flavors, I need you to turn yourself into the nearest American embassy if you're outside of the country, or just walk to a government building inside the United States. They're veteran-founded, operated by principled men and women who honor, protect, defend, and support this country. With every purchase you make, they give back. So make sure you save money and drink America's coffee. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use promo code BOOSTER, that's BOOSTER at checkout for 10% off your one-time purchase, our first coffee club order. It's blackriflecoffee.com. Promo code BOOSTER for 10% off. You can also find it in grocery and convenience stores near you. Black Rifle Coffee, America's coffee. Better yourself and everybody around you. What flavors do you got over there, Blanye East?
The Headless Horseman's roast, also known as the Ichabod roast.
That's the pumpkin spice.
And the Lava Panther.
Because why not?
Yeah, buy them. I'm going to burn your house down.
What else? What do you got over there, Cone?
Gunship. It's a helicopter with guns.
Yeah, by the time you hear it, you're already gone.
Have 2 cups.
It's a lava. It's a panther surfing in front of an erupting volcano.
Yeah, you know the only thing that could take
Black
my
Panther
mind
3
off an erupting volcano, if I was close to it, is watching a panther surf.
That just sounds so terrifying.
I'd pay the price of admission.
You just be on a beach and just look out and there's a panther surfing towards you. Like, we're dead.
Well, I'd much rather be on a beach watching it than watching lava exploding out of a volcano.
Look, if he can survive, we're going to be fine.
For sure. That's exactly right. All right, let's get to best and worst, guys. Also, check out our merch. You want to support the show? Check out the merch. It's under Originals, realdailywire.com. Very easy to find. And at the end of the day, it's great stuff. And you buy that out, we add more. We're talking about maybe a Flaming Dragon. Got some announcements coming up.
There's a lot coming.
There's a lot of stuff percolating under the water. But let's get the best this weekend. I'm going to start off, guys. I want to give a little love to a team that typically catches a lot of hate, and it's deserved in the first round of the playoffs. That's the Toronto Maple Leafs, okay? We know the big story is they can't get out of the first round, right? They can't get to second base. They'll kiss her on the date. They'll have a great time, but they can't get to second base. They get scared.
What's second base?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about
kissing.
That. No, we're not going to talk about what second base is. It's in your mind is what second base is. But they drop a game at home, okay, to the Lightning, and you're thinking, here we go again. Because make no mistake, the Lightning have had a lot more success in the playoffs than the Maple Leafs have. But they didn't sulk. They could have came and said, oh, woe is us. Here we go again. What do? They go down to Tampa. All right. It's 2-2 in the first period, absolute score fest. They go down in the second period, shut them out in the third, get into OT, and get a huge win. So now you're up 2-1 in the series. If you drop one, that's okay. You stole one on the road, you evened it back up, and you got a chance to go make the move at home and win the series. So I want to give some credit to the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's one of my best. I'm going to let y'all say a best next, and then I'm going to come back to it unless y'all want me just to go through the whole gamut.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here we go. We'll do it then. Both sets of the Kings. Both sets of them. I know the Sacramento Kings lost last night, but damn it, they're close. All right? They're giving Golden State is having to fight for their lives to win games at home. This isn't just going to Sacramento and, you snuck up and beat the Warriors one series. De'Aaron Fox, problem. Sabonis looks like he's going to go get a double-double, then try to kill Bruce Willis in a Die Hard movie. But it's the way they're playing. Lyles was hitting. The Kings, Sacramento Kings, finally started shooting the three that reminded us they were the 8th overall best three-point shooting team in the NBA. It was really a matter of time before they got it going. I know they lost. It's tough to shut the Warriors down at home when you get them in Oracle, Draymond coming back. It's an emotional time. But the Kings are for real, and they're here to stay. Something I never thought I'd say in my lifetime. And then the Los Angeles Kings. All right, a team, in my opinion, one of the teams that was the most overmatched, playing the Oilers coming into this series. When you look at it, overall record, the Oilers had 50 wins coming in. The Kings were at 45, I believe, coming in. So they were the worst, the least of the two teams. But now, in Game 4, the series is tied 2-2. I know the Oilers did beat them on the road, but if you'd have looked at any LA Kings fan and said, I will say right now that you guys will be 2-2 going into Game 5 against the Oilers, would you take it? I think they would take it. And don't be shocked. Do not be surprised if the Kings find a way to steal one at Edmonton. There's something about this team. There's something about the Kings right now in every sport that I'm just digging. I know they're coming off a loss and we're doing best, but at the end of the day, I was impressed by it. All right. And then my last one, the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
It's a New York sports resurgence, what we've seen. The Giants made the playoffs. They need to figure it out with Saquon, but it looks like they're going to be here to stay. The Jets, can you go ahead and get Aaron Rodgers so you stop pissing everybody off? And I'm tired of waiting for this. They're relevant now. Got one of the best defenses in the NFL, and they're young. And then the New York Knicks, the Knickerbockers, man. They're going to win this series. They're going to do it. And I bet on them too. Where's Spider? Where's Donovan Mitchell? Just disappeared. Absolutely disappeared. Now, I'm not saying he won't blow up at home, but the Knicks are winning without their stars dominating. Jalen Brunson's my favorite player in the NBA, and he had a great game. But Julius Randle really had no effect on the game. He was on the bench toward the end of it. But when I just watch, it's the grind of the New York Knicks. Deuce McBride from West Virginia out there playing defense, playing his guts out. Hartenstein, who's I think's related to Frankenstein, out there playing his guts out. I just like the Knicks. And that's I'm happy to see it. The Knicks and the Kings are good. What's going on? I love it, sports world. Is crazy. Let's mix it up, man. It's some trail mix this year.
Blanye?
That's my best. What is your best?
Well done. Jalen Brunson's your
favorite player in the NBA. He does.
Don't let James Harden.
He plays the game the right way. Jalen Brunson plays the NBA game like a good college point guard that knows when to take over. Sick mid-range, can hit the big three. He's facilitating out there, makes the right decisions, makes everybody better, and he's little.
He is. All right, my best. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McKinney's the guy from
Always Sunny?
Always Sunny, Philadelphia. They bought a soccer team in 2021. All right. And the soccer team was terrible. All right. Didn't have any facilities, had basically nothing. Basically, their gym was a guy in a garage with a couple bench racks.
Operation Pettit.
So they won for the first time in 15 years, got promoted to the English Football League for the first time in forever. And it's just a really cool story. Go back and look. You saw Ryan Reynolds up there. They're all just can't believe it. They're crying in the booth. Like, I don't even know what the English Football Premier they got promoted to. I don't really care, but it seemed like an extremely cool story. Go look at it, guys. It's a fun game. I actually watched a little bit of the game. They're called Wrexham. That's their team. They're called Wrexham.
I like that.
And my worst... And this Victor Oladipo's injury of the week, he's tore his patella tendon with like 3 minutes left to go in the Bucks.
You talk about fumbling the bag.
Man, but like we might not see Victor Oladipo play another game of basketball. And I hope people really go back and look at Victor's career and what he did. Like the dude was an impact player for a good amount of seasons, and it just sucks to see it go down like this. Just had some the last couple of injuries he's had haven't been minor injuries. So that's my worst for the weekend, man. It's, with all the injuries going around the NBA, I know it's bad, but when you see something like this, probably is going to end a guy's career, man. It's something that kind of hurt.
He turned down a ton of money. He turned down a ton of money. That's the part that hurts me the most. If you go back and look at how much money Victor Oladipo lost by taking the chance and not signing that contract, it's a lot, like make you sick to your stomach type money.
I remember seeing him for the first time at Indiana, man. This guy hitting his head on the backboard.
Dude, jumping out of the
so
gym.
high. I mean, it's just incredible. I love Victor Oladipo. All right, my best here. Got a couple things to get to. There was a big boxing match over the weekend. Gervonta Davis with a 7th-round knockout over Ryan Garcia. I think this was in the 130, 135 range. Man, these guys were just going at each other. Yeah. Incredible fight. Gervonta Davis remains unbeaten. Ryan Garcia now picks up his first loss. So I'll be interested to see who those guys fight next. Alex Magoo the quarterback for the Birmingham Stallions. I don't know if you guys saw this highlight. Dude,
Mr. Magoo
coming in. Look, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. That's how they were saying it anyway. But this kid is incredible. We had some guys on Twitter sharing some of the highlights with us. Got the Birmingham Stallions rolling again.
I think AJ McCarron threw for a 400 piece.
Did he really? There you go.
In the
USFL.
I had an argument the other weekend about someone's like AJ McCarron should be a starter in the NFL.
Okay.
Look, I like AJ.
I do too.
Good cat.
Yeah, I do too. I'm like, then why isn't he?
Yeah. If you should be a starting quarterback in the NFL, you're going to be in the NFL.
Keep going, Dave.
Adolis Garcia, speaking about Garcia's 3 home runs for the Rangers the other day. The Rangers are really cooking, man.
Yeah,
they're looking good. And then my main best from the weekend, all the NHL, the entire NHL. Saturday, we had 3 of the 4 games go to overtime. We had another overtime game yesterday. I mean, we're looking at 2-all. We're looking at 2-all in the Oilers Kings, like you were talking about there, Jake. We got 2-all as well in the Stars Wild. That was the one that I picked. I said probably going to go to 7. Even the Devils figured out a way to steal a game at the Rangers, like Blaine was talking about. So,
needed it.
Bruins went down to South Florida, stole 2 on the road.
Yep.
But the entire NHL playoffs, I think, has been fantastic. With the exception, and this is my worst, you were talking about the Maple Leafs and the Lightning game. They're in that game 3, the no goal called with the referee blowing the whistle early, but not being able to see the puck. Again, I don't know necessarily what's protocol every time, but the puck was loose, and that would have given the Lightning a win without going to overtime.
That's why you don't blow the whistle.
Yeah,
you can't go back and
blow
change
the whistle.
that.
Like, if he has control of it, you're going to find out in a couple more seconds anyway.
Yeah.
And that would have led to a Game 3 win for the Lightning. So that's a tough break for them. But you got one tonight. At home, you can even the series. So
part of me now wants the Leafs to win it. Like, it just because I like seeing teams break through. Like, we've seen the Lightning have success. The Leafs need to win. Winning one on the road was huge. I want to go to my worst. The NFL gambling policy, and I want to make sure everybody understands this. I'm not saying that the players shouldn't be suspended because they knew the rule and they broke it. I can not like the rule, but still understand why they got in trouble. But you ended up having Jameson Williams getting suspended. You had 4 Lions players, including J-Mo, were among 5 players league-wide to be suspended for violating the NFL's gambling policy after investigation by the league. It's Lions wide receiver Quintez Cephas, safety C.J. Moore have been suspended indefinitely for betting on NFL games. That's a no-no. As was Washington Commanders defensive end Shaka Toney. They can reapply for reinstatement after 1 year. We know this whole situation with Calvin Ridley. But then you had second-year wide receiver Williams and Stanley Berryhill are suspended 6 games each for mobile betting that occurred at the Lions Allen Parks facility. Okay, they didn't bet on NFL games.
None of them?
No, I'm talking about the Stanley Berryhill and Jamal Williams. The ones that are suspended.
Or Jameson Williams.
Jameson Williams. Excuse me, I got Jamal Williams mixed up. They didn't bet on NFL games. The other guys did. That's why they're have to sit out a year and then reapply. They only got 6 games. I know they broke the rule. It was stupid to not know the rules or know the rules and break them. But you mean to tell me that you can't, as an NFL player, bet on an NHL game? And I know the argument is, they bet at the facility. Why does it matter if you bet it at the facility? Like, am I getting some sort of inside information at the Lions facility about how the Kraken are going to do against the Avs tonight? Like, and I had people say, well, if I bet at work, I'd get in trouble too. I'm not. They said mobile betting. They didn't get on the Lions coaches' computers and go to DraftKings.com and start betting. And let's not act like you at work don't sit there for 2 seconds and go on your betting app and make some bets. Your boss isn't suspending you for 6 months because of that. So that argument sucks. I think the rule should change. I'm totally for can't bet on NFL games, right? I'm fine with that. I could argue you can bet your team money line. There's no difference. We can argue that till the cow comes home. But I get the rule. But saying that you can't bet on anything, it's un-American.
So is that what they're saying? Yes. Or are they just saying you can't do it at the facility? There's a difference.
There is a difference.
So if Jameson Williams bet on, because he bet on college, right?
I want to say it was college.
I think it was college.
If he bet on a college
football game from his house, he wouldn't have been suspended, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's fine. But why at the facility? What's the difference?
I'm just asking what the rule, like you said.
The rule is you can bet. Like my whole thing is the circumstance. This is my problem. Because the rule to me is you can't bet other sports when you're at our facility or at work or where you spend most of your time, okay? And I understand if it's a company laptop or organizational laptop, or you sneak into Dan Campbell's office to do it. I don't know. I can understand that. But if I'm mobile betting on a college basketball game or a college baseball game or an NHL game from our facility, you're going to suspend me 6 games?
More than if you get in a domestic violence situation.
Y'all gave Ray Rice for beating a chick up in an elevator.
That's the craziest part to me. The no betting on college or even other professional sports, I think, is wild. Now, down at the building or not, I mean, look, they gotta get all this figured out. I do stand firm by no NFL or no professional athlete should be betting not only on their own team, but not on their sport, right? So, Jameson Williams
totally
for the Lions
get that.
Shouldn't be placing any bets in the NFL. And if you don't want to abide by that and you'd rather gamble than play professional football, that's fine. That'll open up some spots because I know a guy over there who could probably
come on, I'm ready right now.
I'm ready right now. Completely fine with that. The no college or even other professional sport seems a little bit wild to me right now. And it's not going to stop because the NFL and every sport is leaning into gambling and wagering so heavily, right? Mm-hmm. But these guys have to understand that's where a lot of your money is coming from, right? It's not people paying the money just to go see you at the stadiums. It's from these deals with gambling companies. It's from the TV rights deals. How this happens after Calvin Ridley missed a whole year and these guys don't understand, that's shocking.
Well, how are you sponsored by DraftKings and all this stuff? You're like, no, you can't bet on an insider facility. That's like, hey, we're sponsored by Marlboro, but y'all's ass better not smoke.
That's why you're
outside
continue to see this.
6 games for betting at a facility. 6 games. I would lose my mind. One, the guys have to know this, right? There's no way they didn't know this and then got in trouble, got suspended for 6 games. Mm-hmm. They had to know you couldn't bet here. They had to have been told by somebody.
Part of me, I don't know.
Right?
Though,
you would think
with a penalty that heavy, they're probably telling them all the time.
You got to think they know. If they knew and still did it, then you're just dumb, right? That's what you are. You just tell me, if you didn't know it and you bet, whatever it was, college and J-Mo, think about J-Mo, man, you just got injured basically the whole last year.
I know.
Now you're suspended for 6 games. Like, you got to figure it out, dude. Special talent. You saw him come in the little games he played last year for the Lions.
Yep.
What looked good. This is like, the Lions didn't need this. Mm-hmm. Like, I was expecting big things from the Lions this year, and I still somewhat am, but this is the last thing that, and this surprised me, it's a Dan Campbell coach team, which I didn't really think you'd see. Want to get to the Booster Club?
Real quick, I got a couple more of the words before we get to Matt Moscona. Bama's quarterbacks in the spring game, and look, I've sat here and talked about how you're not going to be able to tell a lot from a spring game outside of just personnel operating within the system where everybody knows what everybody's running. But watching Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe, the Alabama's got a couple problems. Mm-hmm. One is you have quarterbacks that don't know how to protect the ball right now. The best looking quarterback you had was, I think, the walk-on kid. Holstein looked all right. Like Jalen Milroe, here's what scares me about Jalen Milroe. What happens when you get in 3rd and 7 and you got to throw it and they know you have to throw it? Yeah. He's going to be able to escape and run around a little bit, but he still puts the ball in harm's way when he's operating outside of the pocket, and he's still not seeing it against base defensive stuff where you know where all the checks are because you've gone against this defense the whole spring. You know when they line up in something, what they're running, and you know where to go with the ball, and you still made mistakes. Ty Simpson's not ready. He's just not ready. The clock in his head is not ready. It's not fast enough. You had the quarterback struggle, and you've got a problem at left tackle. I know Malachi Moore is a really talented player. There's no reason why he should be bullying and just out maneuvering Pritchett at left tackle. You're going to have to kick Caden Proctor over there and maybe bump Pritchett down inside. You can't have a quarterback turning the ball over problem and a left tackle problem at the same time.
Combo.
That's Jermaine Burton dropping the ball. Jermaine Burton's played in enough games. I'm not worried about him dropping the ball or whatever during the game. There's some guys that look great on defense. Justice Haynes offensively looks fantastic at Alabama. He's going to be next up on offense. I love the Roydell kid and their other backs, but this Justice Haynes kid, he's maturity, the way he plays, he's going to be next up. But if I can understand why Nick Saban's looking at that portal right now, because I'm going to tell you this. If this quarterback situation does not get better at Alabama, they're about to go 9-3. And people say, oh, Nick Saban always wins 10 games. I have not seen Alabama quarterbacks struggle like this. You're going from Bryce Young, ultimate operator, to two guys that cannot protect the ball, and the clock's slow on one of them. And I don't know if the other one can throw you out of 3rd and 7s against teams where you can't run the ball.
Which is incredible. We're even talking about Alabama could go 9-3 if they have a subpar quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
The standard.
That's how good you are.
Yeah,
that's how good
that's
you
the
are.
standard.
You have a bad quarterback, you're going to win 9 games. Must be nice.
Yeah.
Congrats on your bad year.
Yeah. God, I'd kill to win. Hugh, come on, man. Just 9. I'll take 9.
I'd love 9.
There's no way. I'll take 8.
I would kiss 9 on the mouth.
Wow.
Would
Yes.
you?
Whoa.
Yes.
I pay to watch.
Yeah.
Well, look, for that $6.99, you can get a lot more than that. Speaking about a lot more than that, our friend over at After Further Review, our AFR, if you're dyslexic, Matt Moscona. Sconey, what's up, man?
If you're not into the whole brevity thing, I'm good, guys. How are y'all?
Yeah, I'm good.
Nice Lebowski.
What is brevity? Like the breakfast version of gravity? What does that word mean?
Wait, I'm sorry. Who got the Lebowski reference?
You know who got it. These guys think Lebowski's mid.
It is mid.
Matt, would you please tell these guys? Please tell
I just like watching things that have a point to them.
Matt, will you quit yelling?
See, I like watching comedies that are funny. That's why I like The Big Lebowski.
Cone, you just became my new favorite on the show. You kind of were already.
Wow.
But
Let's
whiskey,
go.
we got whiskey, we got Lebowski. Those
Wow,
are the two guys.
dead
you
to
kick
me.
rocks.
Hey,
That's
Matt, I'm telling you,
this is
everything
you-
you
this
have
is-
going on behind you back there really ties the room.
It really be your own.
It really ties the room
It
together.
really does.
It really be your own.
It really
You know what I'm
does.
saying? That's
See?
fine, Matt.
Matt, we were just talking about this. I'm going to ask you about the LSU spring game, obviously. Ended in a glorious tie. Hey, who doesn't love that when it's an inter-squad game? There's nothing wrong with that. When you look at this Alabama spring game, though, I know how talented they are, and you can only garner so much from a spring game. I've sat here and espoused that till the cows came home. But when you look at the quarterback situation, looked a little wavering, and then you have a left tackle problem. I don't know, Matt. It's going to be an interesting year in Tuscaloosa.
If they don't fix their quarterback problem, at 9-3 would be generous.
Matt.
So keep this in mind, okay? And I get it, okay? I've watched Alabama and Nick Saban for as long as he's been there. I watched Nick Saban win a national championship in Baton Rouge. He is the greatest college football coach ever, and he deserves every benefit of the doubt, as does Alabama typically. However, last year, with Bryce Young, Alabama played 5 50-50 games, fellas. Yes, you could say about Alabama, hey, they're a field goal at the gun in Knoxville and a 2-point conversion in Baton Rouge away from being undefeated and back in the playoff. And you'd be right. You could also say they are a pass into the end zone against Texas A&M on the final play, a pass into the end zone against Ole Miss on the final play, and Bryce Young's Houdini act
against Texas.
in Austin to get away from that blitzing cornerback away from being 7-5. They played 5 50-50 games, y'all. And Bryce Young is the difference and the reason they were 10-2 and not 8-4, 7-5 a year ago. So, and I get it, he didn't play the A&M game, that was Milroe. But guys, I'm here to tell you, man, like everybody's dynasty eventually crumbles. And I'm not saying that's what's happening to Alabama. I'm not saying that they're there. What I'm saying is for the first time since Nick Saban has been there, I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. I need them to prove it.
I see a wounded animal. That's what I see. Typically, when you look at Alabama, it's a lion coming out of the jungle. I see a wounded animal right now. When you look at, and it's not fair to ask Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson to be Bryce Young. There's only one Bryce Young. But don't forget, they almost lost to Arkansas. If Jalen Milroe wouldn't have done what he did on 3rd down on the ground last year, that could have been a crazy game too. They're in Fayetteville. Go ahead, Matt.
I was just going to say, the reason I don't mention that one is because Milroe did that like mid-3rd quarter, and then they got up by 21 again. So that was a weird game, yes, but at the same time, that really wasn't. I don't know that one was ever in danger. The others, they could have very easily lost one play, ball bounces left instead of right in the 4th quarter, and they lose.
No, without a doubt, it was kind of weird seeing that last year. But let's move on to LSU. Look, Jaden Daniels was the number one coming in, number one going out. Looks like he's gained some weight. I think that's more for injury prevention than him trying to fit the ball in windows that he couldn't last year. Jaden's always had a strong arm. The biggest thing I wanted to see, and I thought the evolution of them last year as a team, and I think the offense kind of bled this a little bit into the defense, was when Jaden started taking advantage of the deep third of the field. Remember Brian Kelly last year, I think he had Jaden was at a point he had 8 or 9 touchdowns with no interceptions, and Brian Kelly said that's great, but we're not getting a return on our investment because he's not taking any chances. I would love for him to take some chances, maybe have a couple interceptions, but we have a couple more big plays. Maybe he has 13, 14 touchdowns. Offensively, look, the Kyron Lacey kid's unbelievable. We could tell that. I call him Kylo Ren. But what did you take offensively from LSU and how they looked on Saturday?
Yeah, it was kind of what we expected. And they return everybody. I mean, Brian Kelly said last week before the spring game that this should look like one of the best offenses in the country on Saturday because they return everybody from what became late in the season anyway, one of the better offenses in the SEC. You've got a fifth-year senior quarterback returning. You've got 6 of your top 7 offensive linemen returning. The only real production you're losing at receiver is Kayshon Boutte, Jeray Jenkins. I'm not trying to minimize those guys. Those are both NFL receivers. But honestly, fellas, if you ask me today, what is the deepest position on LSU's team, I would tell you wide receiver, defensive tackle. So I'm not worried at all about receiver. You return Mason Taylor, who you didn't even see in the spring game. He missed the spring with a shoulder. He's a kid, of course, who caught the game-winning 2-point conversion against Alabama. So you return all of your running backs from a year ago. Guys, the offense should be fine. If they have a problem, if they struggle offensively this year, that will be perplexing. To your point, though, Jake, about when Jaden Daniels opened it up, look, that happened in Gainesville. They played Tennessee. The moment, the seminal moment of the season was they're playing a home game against Tennessee. Jaden Daniels has man coverage on the outside, and he just ate the ball. And Brian Kelly brings him to the sideline, is reaming him on the sideline, saying, "Throw the." In a colorful way, throw the ball, put it up there, give your guy a shot. And once that opened up, the offense opened up, and they were really good, man. So offense, man, they should have no problems offensively this year. That's not to say they're going to be 2019 Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, that offense, but this should be an offense that moves the ball and scores.
Yeah. Love it, man. We officially have some new rules, Matt, in college football. So no consecutive timeouts, no unlimited down at the end of the first and third quarter. And then the clock's going to run after first downs. None of us here have a problem with the essence of these new rules. But what I want to ask you is, will the game length actually get shorter, or will the games remain the same length and we'll just get less football and more commercials?
No, the games will absolutely be shorter. I think it's obvious, guys, they're trying to go to an NFL model. And the NFL model, you can, save overtime. You can pinpoint a game, if it's a noon central kickoff, like we have here in Central Time Zone. If you have a noon kickoff, you better believe by 3:15, you're done. Yeah. It's a 3-hour, 15-minute game. That's it. Brother, I've watched enough CBS football, and I'm not to knock just one network, but SEC on CBS, pushing 4-hour games, and God bless if you ever do end up with an overtime game. Oh my God! And the reason is because the way they structure their breaks and the way that they plod through a broadcast, and then the football rules, guys. Football. Listen, in the 1950s, when everybody ran the wishbone and the wing tee, and they ran the ball all the time, you would basically have a running clock. The way that the rules were structured was to inject more offense into the game. You don't need to inject more offense into the game anymore. The way offenses go, they run 90 plays a game. Please, God, stop stopping the clock after a first down. Let it run. It's okay. I don't need 180 plays in a football game over 4 hours. The NFL's proven. Just get up and go. You can make it happen.
So do you think this will benefit the offense, the defense, or neither has an advantage?
I don't think either has an advantage. I think it's just the way the game is going to go. And it's like the rules we're seeing in baseball. You shave 30 minutes off of pro baseball or Major League Baseball games because you've just taken away a lot of the dead time, the standing around. Again, the rule was implemented years ago to inject more offense into the game. It don't need it. The way that these guys play offense now, you don't need to inject more offense into the game. It's going to be fine.
I do want to make a quick point here. I will always, as a defensive guy, if you give me less plays, I will take that as an advantage to the less plays for the offense. It may be a little one, because like I said, I make the argument, some offenses are better when they go faster. How many times have we seen an offense that is absolute hot dog water for most of the first half, then they get the ball in a 2-minute drill, go right down the field and score, and all the fans are like, why don't we just go fast all the time? Well, 2-minute drill, you're not thinking, you're just reacting.
All right, Matt, a couple things here. I want to make sure I'm right. So what you're telling me is one, Bama's going 7-5, and LSU is going to win the national.
Oh, here we go. Good.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
Y'all's weird time.
Hey, I mean, 13-9 right now. I mean, third in the AL East. It's okay. I don't mind what I'm seeing right now, Matty. But first, I got to ask you about.
Only like 140 to go. I think we're.
Yeah, I know. We're going to win the World Series.
Yeah, y'all should panic, I think.
Hey, I know we talked about the LSU on offense, man. I'm going to look a question on LSU on defense. Harold Perkins, first time I saw him, it moved into the inside linebacker. You know, he's coming off the edge last year. What'd you think, and how did he look? He looked comfortable there, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. When you're that athletic, you're going to be able to do whatever they want you to do. The vision for Harold Perkins is Devin White.
Yeah, that's what
I'm not saying he's going to be Devin White. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying expect the butkus and 140 tackles and all this stuff. But when Devin White got to campus, he was so athletic. They had to find a way just to get him on the field. Remember, he played a lot of running back in high school, some linebacker, but really became a full-time linebacker when he got to school. And you had Kendall Beckwith at LSU playing inside backer. So the way they just got White on the field was like, hey, man, go be athletic off the edge on third down and go rush people. And ultimately what happened is, obviously, Kendall Beckwith went to the pros and Devin White moved on the inside, became the best inside linebacker in school history and the 5th overall pick. That's the same vision with Harold Perkins. He just had an exceptional season coming off the edge. They got very creative with how they used him to get him and B.J. Ojulari on the field at the same time, and hat tip to Matt House for that. As far as Perkins this year, they are still going to use him. Matt House has even said this. Third down, edge rush situations, they could still move him out there at the jack and use him as an edge rusher. But expect that to be like the queen piece on the chessboard, man. They're going to move him around a bunch. But the idea is, hey, go stand in the middle of our defense, make 120 tackles, and and just be a freak and disrupt stuff. And he's that guy to do it.
Man, I saw him make a play on the goal line. I'm pretty sure it's like second and goal or something like that. He slipped a blocker, made a play in the backfield. It was just, kid's fun to watch. I'm going to get to the Booster Club real quick with maximum vol. He wants to know, Matt, how competitive is the SEC going to be this year? Is Georgia going to bulldoze everybody, or will we see a little bit of parity?
I think that's less a Georgia question and more a Tennessee question. Like, hey, Vols, was last year a one-off, or are you actually ready to be a consistent threat in the East? If they are, and I don't know if they are, that's a big Joe Milton question, right? Can you replace Jalen Hyatt? Can you keep that offense rolling? If they are, then I think you could have some parity, because I do think Georgia listen, don't misunderstand me. I like to say Georgia's vulnerable to the point like they're going 7-5 right? But the question is, like, can you maintain the championship level where the expectation is you are in the playoff every year? Basically, the standard Alabama has set for the last 15 years. And I think Georgia still has to prove that. Whenever you lose a dozen guys to the draft and your starting quarterback, it's a meat grinder. And to go through the East has been easier than the West. So the bigger question there is a Tennessee question than it is a Georgia question, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Real quick, how are the Orioles 14-7?
They're good. What? They've done a good job. They were good last year.
Mike said no, they're not.
No.
I have no problem with the Orioles. Look, they've done a good job. They've drafted well. Look, got to see Adley Rutschman play when he was at Oregon State. Phenomenal player. They're a good. That's fine. They're a nice little team, and they might even make their way somehow into a wild card scenario. Kudos to you on the really good start by your standard. And to Tampa as well, okay, you set some record for the way you start. Who cares?
Whatever.
Last year in
here
June,
we go with the Yankees. We're just better than you.
Well, they are.
What do you mean?
Yankees have. They got the. First of all, you've been plagued by injuries so far, and you still got Garrett Cole. I'll take him in a winner go home scenario in any Major League Baseball game. So, guys. This is a marathon. It's not a
Oh,
spring.
for sure.
We're sitting here in April, okay? Look, I'm still in my house slippers. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
those are some nice slippers. Those are some nice
around the house.
Oh man!
Do you think I'm concerned?
Yeah. Speaking about slippers, though, to the Georgia question, let's go through this gauntlet of a schedule. You got UT Martin at home, Ball State at home, South Carolina at home, UAB at home, at Auburn, Kentucky at home, Vanderbilt, doesn't matter where, Florida and Jacksonville, Missouri at home, Ole Miss at home, Tennessee and Knoxville. That's the one you look at and go, okay, Georgia Tech at home. They're losing one maybe. Just by lining up and being better than other people. That's what they're going to do. Carson Beck, he can do, I'm not saying he's going to be Stetson Bennett, but he can do enough with that schedule where they go undefeated. And it's not a problem. Tennessee's, at Auburn and at Tennessee? Those are the two you're looking at saying maybe? Right?
Georgia last year, I watched that team go to Columbia, Missouri. And if Missouri didn't pee down their leg in a red zone situation, they're up 3 scores late in the fourth, and Georgia can't come back. I have a big problem, fellas, taking a black Sharpie and scribbling W's on a schedule poster in the SEC. Is Georgia going to be favored in 11 of their 12 games? Maybe all 12? Yes. I'm not prepared to say that they'll win in Knoxville, and I'm not prepared to say there isn't a booby trap somewhere on that schedule. Yeah. So you go 10-2, and Tennessee goes 10-2, but has a win head-to-head over Georgia. Now you have the LSU Alabama scenario of a year ago, where LSU ends up winning the West because they own the head-to-head tiebreaker.
Yeah, I just believe in Brock Bowers. It's going to take a lot from somebody. Again, we have to understand Tennessee.
Well, you're telling me a tight end is the reason.
First off, to call Brock Bowers a tight end is unbelievably disrespectful. He's everything. Second off, Tennessee's. Have you seen Joe Milton?
I have.
Why are we acting?
He came from Michigan.
Why are we acting like Joe Milton is all the? Oh, he's good. Don't worry about it. He's not going to overthrow everybody that's ever ran a route ever. Joe Milton against Georgia defense, against Malachi Starks and the rest of the aliens running around on that defense. We're going to have to see. I'm not penciling in anybody to do anything or sharpening anybody to do anything. But I can say that Georgia has the easiest schedule they've probably had in the last 3 to 4 years. I think we can say that. And nobody else is returning a quarterback outside of South Carolina over there in the East. So that's just...
I'm not stumping for Tennessee. I'm answering the question. And the question was, is there parity? And I said that's a Tennessee question.
No, you're right.
Georgia is.
You're right.
Is Tennessee ready to step up? And Joe Milton replacing Hendon Hooker, no Jalen Hyde. We went through all that. Jake, don't sit here and tell me Brock Bowers, look, phenomenal player, best tight end in the history of the world. LSU had Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry on the same team.
Okay, but they're not. Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, but they're not playing against Georgia this next year. That's great. I mean, Auburn had Bo Jackson
playing against
once.
Alabama when they were winning titles every year.
Well, I mean, I just think it's a different situation. But that's the best part. We're going to get to see.
We will see.
We'll get to see. So when Georgia goes 12-0, we're going to get Matt back on here, and Brock Bowers wins the Heisman.
Okay, that would stun me. That would stun me. Yeah. Bowers winning the Heisman.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's again with Mike Bobo though. I wouldn't put money on it. Matt, appreciate you, brother. It's always great having you on. Can't wait to watch the Orioles and Rays battle for this AL East title, and you guys sneak in there in the wild card. But no, tell everybody where they can find you. It's great stuff you got going on down there. Should be a fun year for LSU fans. Hell, y'all are great in baseball too.
Yeah, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, syndicated all through the state. If you can spell my name, you can find me on any social media platform, so hit me up.
Matt, it's always great, man. Enjoy those house slippers.
The dude abides.
The dude does abide, brother.
It's always fun with Matty Ice.
Mediocre movie quotes.
Yeah, well, we'll work on it. Thanks, Matt.
Appreciate it, Matty. Go Yankees.
All right, Matt Moscona, go give him a follow. Always great talking with him. We're taking your calls, 1-855-236-3228. And I'm super ready to get to the calls because I've had a couple people message me earlier this morning that they want to call in because they got something to say. So we're going to see. Real quick in the Booster Club.
Yeah, donations. Donations. Good. I read that one, but I haven't read this one. Chris E.
$5
donation. Says, thank you for bringing the lines up. 6 games, suspended for 6 games for betting at an NFL facility. He just got off injury. This is insane.
We said it earlier. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Cole Frank, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Cole. Says, what do you guys think of banana ball? I think the MLB should adopt their rules.
Banana ball.
Banana ball.
Don't know what that is.
They're like the banana slugs?
No.
The TikTok dancers?
The Savannah Bananas?
The Savannah Bananas?
The Savannah Bananas.
Banana slugs?
It's called banana ball. They've even given it a name. You know what I call it? Because the Savannah Bananas are not technically a minor league team. Right?
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're an exhibition team.
So they're like the Globetrotters.
They're like the Globetrotters.
Now that I 100% know that, it doesn't piss me off as much.
The Savannah Sandgnats.
The Savannah Sandgnats are the minor league team, so they're playing it the right way. Look, if you want to go watch a bunch of semi-pro baseball players twerk on the mound, that's between you, your children, and Jesus. All right? But I'm not going to do it because I feel like it makes fun of the game.
Don't bring Jesus into this.
It's different with the Globetrotters and the N1 mixtape. That's always been basketball, right? Crazy crossovers, crazy shots, dunks, showing it to the crowd. The lady balancing all those bowls on her head at halftime somehow miraculously. But in baseball, that's not.
I don't remember the Globetrotters dressing up in a banana costume,
Well, I remember the Globetrotters. Doing a lot of stuff. Like
dressing up in a banana costume.
Like dressed up in a lot of costumes.
Not in a banana costume.
Well, I've never seen them. You're right, David. I've never seen them dressed up specifically.
Just start with that next time.
Okay.
Ryan Gade, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Ryan. He says, went to the movies and saw a double feature over the weekend.
Really?
He saw Air and the movie we talked about, Nefarious.
Yo, Steve Dace.
Both A+ movies. Highly recommended. Steve Dace. I believe Steve is healthy now.
Yep.
It's great always to make a movie about the second best basketball player ever. So
LeBron's already came out.
No, what do you mean? This Michaels is the second best.
That's just not true.
Crickets.
It is true. Well, it's 2 people on here. What was there a live audience?
I think there's a lot.
What do you want? What do you want? Like I don't.
A lot more than 2 people that agree with it.
9 mil Norm with the $5 donation. Appreciate it, brother. He says, "Okay, Jakey, you went there. All right. We all know the SEC removed Oklahoma from UGA's schedule. You're just bothered Auburn is more of Ball State than Tennessee.
What does this have to do with Auburn? I just picked Georgia to go 12-0.
Not good enough.
What else do you want?
Not good enough.
Can you not look at that and say, I'm not saying Georgia's scared.
You didn't say 14.
7-5.
Yeah.
Jake said Georgia's going 7-5.
Like, it's always funny, like, when people are like, no, well, you're just mad that Auburn is... I'm just hoping Auburn wins 9 games. Like,
dude,
what are you talking about? Like, that doesn't work. Here's the thing. Like, maybe that works on other fans who, like, haven't been involved with it. Like, that's supposed to hurt my feelings. It's like, dog, I've seen the sausage.
You sound like your feelings are hurt, to be honest.
Feelings. About it. I'll be the first one to tell you that Auburn's not the best team on that schedule.
I heard Auburn's going to get Liberty Bowl rings if they win it.
Look. To each their own. I'm not a fan of participation trophies. Now, I know Arkansas fans, some Arkansas fans weren't happy about that. But, like, Georgia, like, again, I may pick Georgia to win the whole thing. Shocking. I don't know. I'm leaning FSU right now.
What a take.
I'm leaning FSU right now. But, like, no, like, that doesn't hurt my
bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Charles Dotset with the $10. Appreciate it, Charles. He says, I'm moving to SoCal soon. I want to start watching football again. No loyalty to any team. Any recommendations for season passes?
This one's easy. You're moving to SoCal. USC just got a really good defensive tackle in the portal, even though he's transferred more times than Brad Pitt. You got to be USC, right? You're going to SoCal. Be a USC fan. It's a great time. Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley, Cliff Kingsbury, some guys on defense that can tackle. The Grinch who stole the happiness last season is the DC. Go USC.
Look, man, I think you should be an Auburn fan. Let's go to Cole Frink with another $5 donation. Appreciate it, Cole. Says they have time limits on games, no bunting and no mound visits.
Again, because it's not baseball, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're just, again, this is like Masked Singer, but they're playing baseball around it.
All right, let's go to 9 mil Norm with another $5 donation. Says, just to say, though, I love you guys.
Love you too, 9 mil Norm. And I hope you're worth 9 mil.
You make my currently disabled morning tolerable. Thanks. Well, I hope your morning gets better.
Yeah, well, it's handy capable is the way I look at it. All right, you ready to get to some calls, Coney?
Calls? Okay.
Sure.
So we'll go, it's mid later?
You want to do, yep.
We'll do it later.
We do it later? You good with that, B?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it then. Here we go. Let's rock.
All right.
I'm ready to get to the people.
Jimbo from New York. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is Jimbo Eagle.
No chance.
But I don't know for a fact, but I do know it's Monday. You're the first caller of the week. Bring the heat, Jimbo. What do you have?
How's it going, fellas? This is Jimbo Eagle here, and also my call-in name, Q-Smoke Jimbo.
Q-Smoke Jimbo? Nice.
That's gas.
I like that.
Nice ring to it.
So I've been thinking a lot about the transfer portal in terms of most specifically football and basketball lately. And obviously you guys can relate, and you guys have been talking about this a lot. So I've been thinking this question is most specifically for David, and obviously I would like you guys to weigh in as well. But David, when you knew that you weren't going to be the starter at Michigan, what were you able to do from a mentality standpoint to continue showing up on a daily basis and remain resilient in a tough situation?
It's a great question. Yeah.
And I also asked this due to the increase of the transfer portal, and because, you know, I personally, I played college ball, and I went through the transfer process. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun to go through, and I just wanted to see your perspective on that.
No, it's a good question. And look, I thought about transferring every single day for probably 6 months of my life, right? So just to break down my specific situation, I went to Michigan. Chad Henne was a starting quarterback. I redshirted as a sophomore. And then everybody in the room is trying to compete for the starting quarterback job, right? Chad decided to come back. Chad also started my sophomore year. And that's when Coach Carr retired and Rich Rodriguez came in. So when Rich Rodriguez becomes the new coach at Michigan, I'm thinking the same thing a lot of the other guys are thinking, that I'm probably not going to be the best fit at quarterback here. You saw some other guys in my class like Ryan Mallett transferred out. A lot of the quarterbacks transferred out, and you see other guys like Denard Robinson start to get recruited in there. So I did think about transferring out. I was thinking about going to North Carolina actually, but by that point I'd already put 2 years in at Michigan. Okay, I wanted to get a Michigan degree, and the quarterback who was there right before me, I told you guys this the other day, Matt Gutierrez, who was supposed to be the starter in that 2004 season, hurt his rotator cuff the week of the first game. Chad ends up starting as a true freshman. Matt Gutierrez never started a game at the University of Michigan. He played for the Patriots for like 6 seasons. So I thought, okay, I'm at a school where if I'm good enough to go to the NFL, I can go there regardless if I win the starting quarterback spot or not. And if I'm not good enough to go to the NFL, then I'll have a Michigan degree. It sounds a little bit easier now just saying it in 90 seconds. Trust me, it kept me up a lot of nights, but I'm proud to have stayed at Michigan. And look, you just get up and you go do the work because there's 120 other guys out there relying on you to be a leader now that you're an upperclassman.
That's a strong answer. Strong.
Yeah.
Jimbo.
And that is most specifically so strong for you being a quarterback though too, because you have the most pressure on yourself out of any position in basically all of sports. And for you to just stick out what you were able to do, I think it says a lot about your character, and I think people can learn a lot about you specifically.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'll tell you what, and these guys can, speak to it as well. It's never fun sitting on the bench. Like I even told the coaches my senior year, put me at wide receiver and just let me get reps for 2 drill periods a day, just so I can get on the field in goal line situations if you need me to play wide out or something. Yeah. Whatever it takes to get on the field. I'll be the starting holder for extra points, whatever it takes. So, but we appreciate your call, Jimbo.
Thanks, Jimbo.
Thank you, man. All right, let's go to Austin, a.k.a. Playboy Sparty in Michigan. Playboy Sparty, what's going on?
Well, I hope you're happy, David. These new rule changes in college football are playing right into your hands.
How's that?
Well, not only are the soy boys up in Ann Arbor serving up cupcakes yet again on the schedule this year, but limiting. When the time keeps running, it plays right into your hands. You guys got an unreal offensive line, and Jim Harbaugh's goal is to pound the ball down your throat and eat up clock. It's methodical, I'll give you that. But I hope you're happy, David. You guys have given us less college football this year.
Well, now that you say it like that, yes, I'm thrilled. Whatever makes a Sparty upset, I'm thrilled about. I was going to say that Jim Harbaugh personally called and got these rules changed, but actually I heard Kirby Smart is the co-chair of the.
I actually heard Navy called and said, "Hey, if y'all don't change his rules, we're just going to invade."
Is that what
we're going to invade college football.
So what do you got? So will this play into teams like Michigan and Georgia who run the ball a lot more?
Oh yeah. Again, it's across the board. I think it's you always want balance, right? Like the best teams on offense have balance, their ability to run and pass. But yes, I think more of the fourth quarter and you're up 9, or the fourth quarter and you're up double digits, it's not within one score. Now being able to run that clock, if you think about it, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense too in the back end to get that stop, or the clock's going to run out. Now, because that clock stoppage adds up throughout the whole game, and it may give you another series if you're out of timeouts to be able to get the ball back with 40 seconds or something like that. But no, it's any rule they make, in my opinion, it's always going to behoove you to be able to run the ball well. So there's not a lot of rules where running the ball well doesn't help you.
Playboy Sparty, don't worry. Sure. I heard Tuck's coming though, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, look, y'all better hope Mel Tucker wins again this year, because make sure it wasn't all about just Kenneth Walker 2 years ago, because y'all dropped the bag on Mel Tucker.
Guys, I've been a season ticket holder for 5 years. I'm excited for October 21st. Is all I'm going to say. And maybe Jim Harbaugh will win a bowl game this year. He's 1-6 in those.
Hey,
you need to call in more often.
Don't hold your breath, Playboy Sparty.
I might just need random texts from you throughout the day.
David doesn't catch a lot of shrapnel.
There's nothing like hearing Cone get called a soy boy.
No, he said that about the boys in Ann Arbor, not me. Austin, tell them you didn't call me a soy boy.
Yeah. David, you're one of the good ones.
Thank you.
Don't lie.
You hear that? No, you hear that, Blaine?
Don't lie to him. Should have transferred.
Details matter.
Don't get too big of a head.
All right, Playboy Sparty, we appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah,
Playboy Sparty.
If you guys,
go ahead.
If you guys wouldn't mind, I'm Canadian. I got something to put on the board for you guys. I've been doing well these NHL playoffs.
Okay. What do you got?
So, all right, this one, it's plus 680. There's a lot of teams in here. This could go either way, but I got Rangers, Lightning, Stars, and Bruins all to win their next game.
Rangers, Lightning, Stars, Bruins.
Who's going to be the one team
why do I just feel like Dallas?
I just don't believe in the Rangers.
Because Stars will go home.
Rangers
Bruins go home. Yeah, I like that one.
What is it?
Stars
the Rangers have to win.
I like that one. That's plus what?
Plus 680.
Plus 680.
Yeah. No, I'm saying the Rangers are down 2-1 playing the Devils at home. They got to win this one.
No, they're up.
3-1.
They're up.
They're up 2-1. They won the first 2 games. Yeah.
Am I just tripping?
If that hits, can David give me a go green?
Yes,
if that hits,
he definitely can.
You call in Wednesday and let's talk about it. Okay, let's have an honest conversation. Appreciate it, Playboy Sparty.
What a call.
Thank you, brother. Talk to you Wednesday.
So, bye.
Brianna from Houston, Texas. What's going on, Brianna?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
It's Alabama again.
What up?
Number one, I have a bone to pick with Blaine.
No.
Yes.
Get him. Read my comments in the chat.
What did you say?
Read my comments in the chat. You call me Mo Bamba, and my name is Mobama.
Oh my God! I guess I see. The Mo Bamba song.
Blaine can't read.
Song. I can read, guys.
Say it 10
I just
times
have to
fast,
read a lot. All right. And it's tough sometimes. You look at it enough, everything just starts blending together. I'm slowly going insane.
Look, I thought it was a conspiracy, but I'll accept it
Might
because
be.
it's just a mistake. But
no, don't worry.
Mobama, 1, I'm sorry. 2,
okay.
At least I'm not a soy boy.
Oh, I appreciate it.
See, now he's going to start taking texts at you.
That's true.
You got a question?
One other thing for you guys. Yeah, well, it's actually a bet. So
Okay.
I called in like a few weeks ago and offered you guys a Flaming Dragon Friday bet, which you still haven't taken to eat your Vegemite yet, Blaine.
Oh, no. Hey. Hold on. We're getting that sent in. That is getting sent in by somebody from Australia, a fan of the show from Australia, Dion.
We have a lot of plans.
Sending it in.
All right, I don't want to give anything away, but we have a lot of plans for draft day.
Yeah, don't miss draft night.
Yeah,
a
lot of plans.
The live
for draft
stream,
we'll say.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild.
I'll definitely tune in. So for this Friday, I'd offer you guys that you do 10 push-ups per the number of times you say it if you hit the over, or Blaine does 10 push-ups for the gap that you missed.
I'm down
make
with
it
that.
20 and it's a deal.
Make it 50. I did 300 yesterday.
Okay, I'll be easy. Let's make it 20.
Make it 70.
Trying to get a workout.
I don't want
Make it 100.
Make it 1,000 push-ups.
That's a lot.
Oh, we'll do it live on the show.
That's a lot.
Shapiro said he can do like 88 in a minute.
88 in a minute.
That's a lot.
We had people calling him out.
Look,
I got to see form. That's what I got to see.
Yeah,
I got to see form. It's hard. Like, if I can bench press you, it's just hard for me to take you serious.
Like, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Well, you can bench press what, like 270 pounds?
Keep going.
270.
Yeah, well, good. You can bench press one Lizzo.
Look, first of all, Lizzo's a Mack truck. What do you mean? That's like pushing over a full-grown moose.
All right, more Bama, Mo Bama. Thank you so much.
Brianna,
Mo Bama, more Bama. Get her name right.
I don't read the chat. I'm not reading it.
She just told you what it is.
It's a lot easier to read.
Sorry, Mo Bama.
By the way, if you use promo code Booster for Hooked on Phonics, you can get a free reading from Alex.
Give it a try.
I read good.
Try it.
Like, how are the kids supposed to learn to read if they can't even fit inside?
Fart in the bathtub. Laugh your ass off.
Do you see what you've done?
Oh, my goodness.
All right, boys. Cody, Illinois.
Here we go.
Oh, boy, Cody, what's going on?
All right, who's ready to play? What year is it?
Let's dance.
Yes.
All right, so I'll be reading you guys 5 clues from a specific year. You're going to tell me what year it is, and once again, I will ask you guys not to use any electronic devices.
Blaine.
It's debatable.
Blaine just pulled Dave Winfield out of nowhere the other day.
All right, collegiate champion. The Penn State Nittany Lions won the NCAA Team National Championship in wrestling. Professional champion. The Boston Bruins won the Stanley Cup. Sensational rookie. Mo Purified was named the Arena Football League's Rookie of the Year with the Georgia Force, snagging 46 touchdown receptions.
Give me Arena
Individual accomplishment. Sebastian Vettel became the youngest driver ever to win back-to-back Formula One championships. And significant event. Longtime Raiders owner Al Davis dies at 82 years old.
Okay.
What year is it, fellas?
Okay. The Al Davis one is really one of the few that I'm hanging by a moment Lifehouse style with over here.
All right, and Sebastian Vettel. Vettel won for Red Bull 4 years in a row. He said he was the youngest to win back-to-back, which means it would have been his second one, and I think that streak was from like 10 to 14 or 9 to 13.
So somewhere in the 2000s.
So
2011.
At least we're in the decade, right?
2011.
So? Okay. So when do you think Al Davis died?
God, I think it is 2011.
Okay,
I
so
think Mark
Vettel,
took over.
Because I think Vettel won for Red Bull 10, 11, 12, and 13. But it may have been.
But if he won, it was back-to-back, that 11 makes sense. 2011 makes sense.
I could get behind 11. Penn State wins the wrestling championship like every year, and I don't know anything about the Arena League rookie.
All right.
What was the second? The Bruins. The Bruins won. So do we know when the Bruins won the Stanley Cup? If it was like 2010,
I think 2011 would be as good as a guess as we can make.
Okay.
2011. 2011.
Let's go.
All right, so 2011 is your final answer?
God, yes. That ain't the response.
All right. It is 2011.
We are the smartest group of men ever assembled together at once.
I love that.
When it comes to sports. Stump the Schwab,
Cody,
why don't you come in here and stump us?
You have a gift, Cody.
You do, Cody.
That's fun,
You're
man.
my favorite person from Illinois.
I didn't even know the decade for the first 3 questions.
It's great.
I didn't even know the decade, but the Vettel.
I have to say, I was not expecting the Formula One question to be what gave you the answer.
Me either. That's
a year and a half ago, it wouldn't.
My man's been putting in the research.
I've been putting in the work. Drive to survive. I've been doing my research, brother. I've been driving to survive.
Cody, that was a good one.
David, you're a father.
That was a good one.
I do. I go the speed limit.
Okay, good.
Cody, we appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, Cody. Appreciate it. All right, let's go one more here. We got Swanee from Texas. What's going on, man?
Swanee.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Call sign Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
What's up, Uncle?
Like that.
Hey man, I'm a LSU Tiger from Louisiana, man, and I moved over here to Texas and fell in love with this Aggie girl, and so there's some difficulty there, but and she's like one of the high ups in the cult and everything, so.
Oh yeah.
But I tell you, man, I just wanted to throw some props out to those Aggies. I got taken to this big cult meeting on Friday night with Muster, and I was excited. I mean, I wanted to see the ritual goat killing and arts and crafts.
They burned that big owl.
Then you found out you were the goat. This is great. Oh no.
Like, do I bring my own goat, or do they provide the goat?
No, you're Nicolas Cage in The Wicker Man.
This is amazing.
It's you.
But anyway, man, I tell you what, I go there and I was actually, and I want to tell it, muster is actually an incredible thing. And like I got moved, I even got choked up, and I listened to this 4-star general speak about like what A&M's all about and what they're fighting today. And, you know, I actually got to admit, if a little bit of that cult rubbed off on me and my school, and because this general, he didn't, and those A&M Aggies at the Bataan Death March, you know, that kind of got this thing going.
Yeah.
They wouldn't put up for all this silliness that's going on now. And, you know, they're coming after my sports, which I love. They come after my girlfriend because she's a lady, come after my niece and nephew because they're kids. And those real Aggies, man, they're actually a lot like me and a lot like you guys. And so I gotta say that I went and but I left, and for what those real true Aggies in that room I was with on Friday night stand for, I'll say gig them to that. I ain't gonna cheer for them. I ain't gonna wear their ugly colors, but I'll stand in silent support.
Yeah, well, you know, my thing has always been this. I say this about the Auburn-Alabama rivalry all the time. We cheer against each other. Everybody's a fan of somebody. Nobody is as diehard when it comes to their teams, in my opinion, as we are in the United States. But there's something I think most of us as sports fans can all agree on. When you come for the kids and you come for our women, it doesn't matter if I cheer for Auburn. It doesn't matter if I cheer for LSU, if I cheer for USC, or if I cheer for Washington. We can all come up together and combat that and be able to stand together and realize how dangerous and how stupid all of this stuff actually really is. So if you want to bring a contingent group together, go after women and kids with sports fans and people that have common sense. Not saying you have to be a sports fan to have common sense, but it seems really uncommon. So if you ever want to see an Auburn and Alabama fan come together, an LSU or an A&M fan come together, a Washington or Washington State fan come together, come after our kids and our women, and you'll see us come together like a force you hadn't seen in a long time. I can promise you that.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, Swanee.
I just saw that, you know what, this isn't what A&M was built for. This wasn't what the SEC got started for. It's not what my state, Louisiana's for.
No.
You know, so and the last thing about an athlete to go, even though I'm just an old former athlete, is the fighting spirit, and I'll stand up and fight.
No, that's exactly right. Again, it's a mindset, man, and right is right, wrong is wrong. And at the end of the day, I think most of us can get behind what's right and push back against what's being pushed onto us and trying to be normalized in our society. So, look, you got a
great call. Thank you, Swanee. That's a great call. Hey, you'll be wearing overalls and leading yell practice in no time.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Hey, you watch your mouth, Dave.
That's good. Thanks,
man. Call in again soon. All right, Sasha and Tennessee Sooner and all those. Hey, y'all call in on Wednesday. We want to hear from you. Okay,
the word
Sasha?
is pickle feet. Say the word pickle feet, you get moved to the front of the line.
No.
You want to change it this week?
No, you.
It's Pongo.
First off,
that's the word.
No, it's not. It's pickle feet this week. Because if use the same password for 3 years, that password sucks. Why do you think they make you update passwords all the time? You're just like,
no, you just got to update if you get it wrong. You don't have to change it.
Update if you get it wrong.
A great password never gets guessed.
That's what everybody
and no one would
ever has
Pongo.
had their identity stolen says.
No one wants to say pickle feet at 7:30 in the morning.
Yes, they do.
Nobody does.
Yes, they do. Actually, a lot more people.
I thought Pongo was such a good one from you.
Well, good. Well, then
I really thought it was.
Feet. Then you'll love pickle feet. Here's what we got this week on the board.
We'll accept.
All right. What happened this past weekend? Just burn it down.
What happened?
Burning it down.
Speaking of Morgan Wallen. Canceling contract.
That was Jason Aldean, but good for
same thing. They all sound the same. All right, here's what I got. Give me the Rangers and I want the Rangers money line and the Lightning at +1.5. Because right now, who really cares? Sergio's probably going to win the month, and that's great.
Why you say that?
Just because.
I'm not going to let it happen.
It's been a year. It would take an epic collapse. Like Crain and Co. picks track.
What am I, a percentage point behind?
Collapse. One they'll be talking about for years and years and years if it happens.
Big me guy.
So that's going off at +126. Who really cares? I've got to just plod my way along to the weekend. We got one more weekend where we each take 6 bets. And so then I'm taking the Heat +5.5 and the Lakers money line. That's at +184. Look, playing with house money this week, sometimes it's not worth it. Been a little bit distracted, getting married next month, a lot of things like that. So there's some excuses built in. David, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to take the Winnipeg Jets, and I want them money line, boys. That's going off at -105, and a win there would even the series with the Golden Knights. Then I'm going to take the Rangers money line, but I want them to score over 2.5 goals, and the New Jersey Devils score under 3.5. That's +100.
Okay, how many bets am I down?
You need to start making
this is
bets.
my plan. All right, grab my hand, walk with me. All right, I'm going to take these easy bets today. And I believe we have the weekend that's inside of this.
We have the weekend. The 29th is a Saturday, the 30th is a Sunday.
I'm not going to hit them, but they're supposed to be.
There's a full weekend. Right. It's going to come down.
So what if, with all the extra bets I took, all right, I just took first pitch results in the MLB?
It's
and
risky.
Whether it's 10 bets, what is it, 30% of the time they usually swing at the first pitch. All right? And they usually run plus 1,200. Hit 3 of them. Plus.
Don't call it a comeback.
40? Plus 40 units? You know, so that is what I'm taking. Give me the Lakers money line. Definitely going to lose this game, obviously. Then give me the Heat plus 5.5 at home. It's -110. The Lakers money line -190. Hate it.
No Giannis, right? No Giannis for the Bucks.
No Giannis.
No Giannis.
All right. We do want to let you know that our Booster Club bets are brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, because new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly, win or lose. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Hold on. Ace Cone, he's going to take the Lightning money line at -110 tonight. Then he's going to take the Avs and the Kraken over 5.5. That's at -130. And also, I do want to let everybody know, we still have our Wall of Fame over here, all right, that we're going to be adding to. Laura Brown, we got the beef jerky in. We got the cards in we're going to send back and some other things.
Wait, it did come in?
Yeah, it's sitting right over there, right to the right of Blaine got something. Blaine, grab that box. You see on top, that's yours.
Yeah, I don't be opening stuff on live.
No, go ahead and open it on live TV.
No, I'm going to open stuff
on no, go ahead and open it. You're gonna need
I don't know what it is.
Here, I'll go open it.
No,
I'll get it.
Don't touch my thing.
But we have the Wall of Fame. It says Blair Crain, so it could be for somebody else. So it's not yours.
Airborne Dan. From Airborne Dan. We found it.
There you go.
Okay, cool.
What is it?
I don't know.
Well, why don't you
Probably something cool. Okay.
How about that?
You really
all right, so do what?
Really pressured me today.
Also,
Good.
Steve. Wasn't this Steve's Action Figure Frenzy?
Yes.
Send in the Richard Todd cards?
God,
hey,
please.
Next time I see Richard, which I don't know when that'll be, I'm going to get him to sign these. I'll send them back to you. And thank you for this one.
Definitely.
All right. Oh, gosh.
Here, I'll open it for you.
No. Donations. Heartbroken Hog.
Heartbroken Hog.
$2 donation.
What's up, man?
What would it take for a wide receiver to win the Heisman?
What would it take?
What would it take?
Less than it would a defensive player. I think just though, like a defensive player, there has to be some special teams there, returning punts, returning kicks, things like that to add to it. Just because if a receiver's putting up crazy numbers, then a quarterback's putting up crazy numbers with the wide receiver. We know it's a quarterback award right now, but you would have to, we're talking 2,000?
You'd have to have a generational year. You'd have to have whoever's the favorite to win it that year at the quarterback position underperform, and then maybe another couple quarterbacks take votes away from each other. This is the situation when Charles Woodson won it in '97 for Michigan. Was Randy Moss, I think, and Peyton Manning had taken some
perfect storm, basically, is what you're saying.
Okay, real quick, Cole Frink, $10 donation. Cole, appreciate all the donations.
Yeah, Cole, thanks, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Says, hey, Jake, check his Twitter DMs. I sent him my proposed logo for the NHL team. I want to bring to Milwaukee. I was asking you guys about it last week. I want your guys' opinions on it.
What about the Milwaukee Cheesers?
Yeah, I like that. I don't mind that.
I like that too.
I feel like we really sat down and brainstormed, put us in a room, give us a couple markers, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get to this week. I don't know if you saw this, but Phil Jackson came out.
We're gonna talk about that tomorrow with Jalen Rose.
Yes. All right, cool. So this is from Airborne Dan. He says, Blaine, do you know what is not mid? Friendship.
Let me see it.
He said, hold on. I'm sorry that I implied that you look like Pirate Quasimodo during the April Central Access. Please accept these baby roots as a token of my apology and my friendship.
Okay, that goes hard. That goes hard.
I love that.
You got some baby roots in there? Man, baby roots such a great candy. Good Lord.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Airborne Dan, thank you, man.
Yes.
Seriously, thank you so much.
I tell you what, best Booster Club, best audience in the world. We appreciate you guys.
Poll.
Go poll.
All right, really quickly. All right, who's the third quarterback coming off the draft?
Give me the numbers.
Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, Hendon Hooker. 3 options.
Will Levis.
God, I'm
45%.
I think Hendon Hooker's the third best quarterback in the draft, but I don't think he's going third. Give me Anthony Richardson, 44%.
Will Levis, 23%. Hendon Hooker, 32%. Anthony Richardson, 46%.
I am just absolutely throwing darts right now.
Right now, Will Levis is the favorite to go second off the board.
That is laughable at best.
Yep.
That's laughable at best. You keep hearing the Texans are going to trade that pick. That's what you keep hearing. We're going to talk about this. We're going to be covering the draft like Augustus Gloop covers a cupcake convention.
Okay, I know we don't have time, but if you're the Texans, why would you do that?
Draft capital, man.
They're not doing it.
There's no way they do it.
No, they want you to think they're doing it. They're going to fake about faking.
And cut him.
Think about faking about faking.
Yes.
Where am I?
That water boy water. We appreciate you guys call-ins. Fantastic as usual, Booster Club. You guys are the best in the world. Make sure you go check out the merch. Grab some. Real Daily Wire. It's under Originals. Go to Daily Wire Plus. Check out all the content there. It's fantastic. Thanks to Matt Moscona as well. Was a heck of a Monday show. Remember, without you, there is no us. And like the chances of the Texans, maybe not picking second, we're going, gone.